In the last two episodes, I showed you how to talk to Claude. Today, we're going to show you something completely different because the real power isn't in talking to a chat box. It's handing in your work and walking away while it does it for you. So we're going to stop typing our questions into Claude and start delegating work tasks so they can work as part of my team. And you should be able to do that too. And I'm going to show you how to do that in today's video. So before we get started, let's find out what the difference is between Claude Cowork and just a regular chat box. As you can see here, I'm going to go through a deck first, and then we're going to show you how to actually properly set up your Claude Cowork. There's a couple of nuances that we have to go through before we get that started. First, you've already learned the difference. You learned how to talk to Claude in the chat box using appropriate prompts so you can get the appropriate answer, being detailed in everything that you ask. Today, we're going to hand it our work and make sure that it does exactly what we ask it to do and execute at the level that you are anticipating it to execute at. So what does that mean for us? We have a couple of things that we have to do in order to use Claude. And the first is to hand it a task that it can do in steps. So that way there is no back and forth in the chat, no having to reiterate exactly what you meant. You just give it one set of instructions and it works automatically without fail. So give it one task, it works in steps, you get the results. Now, this is the difference between chatting and delegating a task to Cowork. Again, in a chat, you talk it and it gives you answers. You go back and forth. Sometimes you have to go back into the chat to figure out exactly what is that you guys talked about, in a series of interactions between the chat box and you. In Cowork, it's a little bit different. You delegate it and it works. One simple set of instructions and it runs it every single time without fail. So that's the biggest win when it comes to using Claude Cowork. Why this matters? Well, it will save you a lot of time. You won't have to go back again onto the chat, and you can, work on other areas in your busy work, and you can keep more time to yourself. Essentially, you're buying back time to a certain degree, and you just have to set it up. That's the only time that you will be actually spending in setting this up, and after that, you can smooth sail through your day. It works while you don't. So you just give it one task, you step away, come back, the results are going to be there. So it makes it a little bit easier for you. So now we're going to start using AI for what I believe its intended purpose is to make your life easier, better, more productive, so you can do other things that you have time for. Now, one of the biggest thing that we need to make sure that we address before we move on with the video is that in the browser, we can only do some certain limited amount of things. We can chat, we can write, we can upload files, but the website, because it's in a browser format, can access your computer. If you're a busy professional or you're someone who are in the midst of creating your own business or program or some sort of things, you may need to reach certain files in your computer. A browser will not be able to do that for you. This is where the desktop app, Claude AI, is going to be essential. And that's the only way you can truly do the team partnership with Claude AI to make sure that you execute at a elite level. So it'll be able to reach your files much easier, and you can modify them if needed. And so it makes the task so much easier for you to do. And it can also save anything that it generates within your computer without you having to manually do it. So that's one of the biggest things with that. So without a doubt, I think that everybody will benefit from learning how to use Claude Cowork. And without further ado, let's go ahead and show you how to set that up. So you're going to go ahead and open a browser. And again, we talked about Google is going to be the choice because it just interacts with Claude AI so much better. From here, it shows you a couple of things which I definitely want to address. When we're talking about Claude Cowork, you have to have a paid subscription. The current rate is $20 a month. And it's a very good money invested if you're truly serious about utilizing AI to make your life easier and more productive, giving you more time back and be able to do things. So Claude Cowork is available at the pro level. Again, that's going to be about roughly at the time of this recording, $20 a month. It also gives you access to Claude Code, which is another feature that we're going to be exploring in the future. And all of them offer the chat, which is free. So now that we know that, we're going to go ahead and just download Claude into our web desktop. So from here, it takes you here. It's available both for Windows and Mac OS. So you just click on that. I already have it downloaded onto my computer, so we're not going to go through those whole steps. So let's go ahead and open up our Claude app on our desktop. So we're going to go ahead and close this off, and we're going to go ahead and click on our application. So it looks very similar, right? Not much different. And you can see the interface is very, very, very similar. You can see at the bottom of the chat box here, you have an option for a chat and another option for Cowork. And you can see I already have a lot of things that I'm automating, and it's actually working a lot on the background. This is not something that I tell it to do every single day. It automatically does it. We're going to be diving into that much in the future as we continue to dive into this program. So the first things that we're going to do, remember, I always encourage you to create a project. So we're going to go ahead and create a project that we can use Cowork for. Once we're there, we're going to go ahead and just create a new project. We've gone over that. We're going to call it Claude Cowork test. And again, you can describe what you want this project for. We're just going to go ahead and create it for the purposes of showing you how to create a project. And now that we're there, you'll see right here that we have the same options. We have the chat version if you just want to have some general questions answered, or if you want some sort of Cowork capabilities. Adjacent to that, we're just touching back on what we talked about last time. We have the type of Claude power that you want to use for each of the tasks that you're going to be delegating to Claude Cowork. As of now, we just had received a newer version. It's Opus 5, one of the latest integrations to Claude, which is going to be much more complex in the answers that it gives you, more detail than the one that we had previous. In our previous video, it was Opus 4.8. Now it is Opus 5. So we have more capabilities. And of course, you got Fable 5, which is going to be the absolutely top tier of everything, but it does use credits. We can dive that in another video for that. But for now, I think Opus 4.8 is going to be just fine. Now that you have that, now you want to start thinking about what you want. And just to touch bases with a couple of things that we talked about last time, you have instructions. You're going to be given it exact instructions on what you want to do. You can attach files that it can reference to. And as time goes on, you will be able to create memories of everything that you've done on this particular project. So everything is going to be compiled in there. So let's show you how to do this. Let's go ahead and attach a set of instructions. So I'm going to attach a file, and I'm going to do it from my device, and it's called this one. So here you can see I have specific instructions that usually I go through, and we're going to go ahead and attach it to this project. And now I have to delegate it. I have to give it specific instructions, making sure that I have my Cowork tab clicked. So I already have it set up, so I don't have to type this all over. So we're just going to go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to paste it here, just like you would do any other chat box. So I have this here. I make sure that I have my Cowork and the type of Claude capabilities for research on this clicked. And then I'm just going to submit it. And now it's just going to go ahead and generate this automatically. And again, it's going to be referencing the instructions of the files that I attached to this project. And we're just going to let it run. And it's going to create that. See, it's thinking, it's referencing to the projects and files that I've attached. So you can see that it found my notes on my instructions for my morning routine for focus. Now it's generating it. One thing that I do love about Claude is that it's definitely telling you exactly what it's doing live. If it's not finding something, it will spit it out here. It says, I don't know where it's at. Let me look. Okay, found it. It's really cool. I think I like that transparency and seeing how the AI is actually navigating this task. Depending on which model of Claude you use, we're using the 4.8, which one of the highest ones. So it's actually taking a little bit longer. If you were to use something lower than that, the answer would be much faster because it doesn't take that much time in running such detailed answers. So we're gonna let that run. It might take a little bit longer. I just wanted to show you how that works. And you can see it's already creating a lot of different skills and documents and packages, everything based on the instructions that I gave it. Super important that you know how to utilize this types of skills. And it's continuing. It might take some time to do it. And there we go, actually. Here you go. So now you can see it created everything based on what we talked about. Here's the content package for the morning routines for focus. And it gives me all the little details, including a LinkedIn post that I can put on there, making my life easier, not having to write, make things easier for me to post on all the social media platforms like TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts, etc. Super awesome. So that's what that looks like. Now let's move on to what we have coming up next. So part 2 of this series or this video is a bigger picture, a multi-step job that I want to give and delegate to Claude. The cloud, what that means when you're away. Say you have something that you want to get done, but your computer is at home, and how you can still delegate those types of jobs while your laptop is at home. It can continue to work for you, especially retrieving information if you need it to onto your smartphone. And the number one mistake that most people make when it comes to utilizing Claude Cowork. That's going to be all in episode 4, the real work on autopilot. So definitely stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be one of the most rewarding things that we're going to be doing in this series of videos. One of these things that I want to make sure that you guys do today is to go ahead and create your own project. Set a file of instructions that you want to do or routine, and give it a detailed task that you want it to run automatically without you having to be there all the time. So hope that you guys found this very useful and helpful on how to utilize Claude Cowork. Again, the next episode is going to be much bigger, better, and with a lot more to offer. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Leave your comments below if you have any questions or you run into any problems. I'll help you troubleshoot them if I can. And some value propositions that I have created a AI PDF file. It's called the AI Clarity that you can download for free. I'll leave the link in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching.